brahmachari at the time, was just helping him with the organization. Going ahead to the villages and making the arrangements and getting the venue. He was just doing the very physical, material organization for his guru to come and speak the Srimad Bhagavatam. But by hearing from his guru, he got such a higher taste. And even though he didn't ask, his Guru Maharaj told him, now you should speak from Srimad Bhagavatam. And he went so deeply into Srimad Bhagavatam. But please understand that his qualification wasn't just being a scholar, wasn't prophet adoration distinction, which is often motivations even for devotees. He didn't want followers. He was just doing very menial service for years. And then he was blessed to speak from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And he loved the Srimad Bhagavatam. He gave such beautiful narrations in the Hindi language. This morning I went to offer my respects, my love, my gratitude, my heart to such a Vaishnava. And I drove in the car with His Grace Radhe Shyam Prabhu and Shyamananda Prabhu. And the whole time we were driving, Radhe Shyam Prabhu was speaking to me about Gaura Krishna Maharaj, because they were very close friends. How because, not simply because of scholarship, but because of his humility and his surrender, he had such realization and understanding and the capacity to speak those realizations and understandings of Srimad Bhagavatam. And how practically throughout the year he was giving talks. And how he was just so humble. In each of his lectures, Radhe Shyam Prabhu was saying, he would always emphasize not finding faults with other devotees. And he shared with me an analogy. That finding faults with devotees and speaking them to others is like picking up stool and throwing it in people's faces. Is that a nice thing to do? Even if there is a fault, when we're talking about it to others, we're actually throwing stool on people. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you do two things, I'll take you back to Godhead. Chant the names of Krishna and do not criticize others. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told one Brahmin who was very blasphemous of Vaishnavas. He says, when you speak the faults of a devotee, you're drinking poison that will kill your true spiritual propensities. But when you speak the virtues of the Vaishnavas, you're drinking nectar. And only nectar could counteract poison. So stop finding faults and seek the good qualities. And Radheshyam Prabhu was telling, he simply never found faults with anyone, devotees. Like a good physician, he would speak the disease, point it out what it is and how to cure it, but no malice, no envy. And he was always cheerful. And from my own personal interactions with him, he just always wanted to take a humble position. Always wanted to appreciate others. In fact, I believe most nights of our yatra in Vrindavan, he was there. Even though he's such an incredibly learned scholar of Srimad Bhagavatam, he would just come to deeply take pleasure in hearing others. As Radheshyam Prabhu was describing him, I was remembering Prabhupada's analogy that there's the book Bhagavatam and there's the person Bhagavatam. Just hearing about a devotee like this was not different than a Srimad Bhagavatam class. Hearing about the qualities of a Vaishnava is Srimad Bhagavatam. He knew the Bhagavatam, he lived the Bhagavatam, he was the Bhagavatam, person Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada taught that by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and serving the person Bhagavatams, those who are actually who are living by these principles, Shushusho Shudadanasya Vasudeva Katatuchi Syanmahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirutana Sevana. See, we can have taste for reading novels. We can have taste for watching television or cinemas. We can have taste for different kinds of material music. We could have taste for scriptures too. We could have taste for Srimad Bhagavatam too. But when we're speaking about ruchi, real taste, true taste, that taste for hearing a Bhagavatam which is free of ego. I don't want to just learn so I can show people how much I know. I'm not trying to learn just to purify from, or not purify, but just to somehow or other counteract all the bad things I do. Actually, ruchi. Shushushoshidadanasya vasudeva katha ruchi. That taste is when we really are beginning to experience and develop that experience of